Now I'm so glad I didn't go and watch this fight live because I did have the chance to do so, but man, I wasn't looking to waste my money just to be singing Sweet Caroline. Da, da, da. Hi there guys, and welcome to A Dash of Sports episode 51. I'll be your host and presenter Dashiki Dash, and on this show is where I talk about all things sports related, hot topics and trending stories. And if you like the previous episodes, hey, give us a like, comment, subscribe. Also remember to press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my shows. And one last thing, sharing is caring, so don't forget to share this. And on today's show, I'm going to be discussing Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk. And I think it's about time I start asking some hard-hitting questions, such as, is Anthony Joshua a fraud? Yeah, I said it. Is he a fraud? And also, Usyk, is he the real deal? Well, after a somewhat shock defeat caused by Usyk, what's next for Anthony Joshua? Is it a rematch? I remember Anthony Joshua's lost his second fight now, so has that jeopardized any chance of him fighting Tyson Fury? Albeit, Fury would have to get past Deontay Wilder, or has Anthony Joshua already flopped his side of the deal for the potential big money fight? Hey, more to be discussed right here on A Dash of Sports. So let's just get into it. Anthony Joshua losing to the former unified cruiserweight champion and now unified heavyweight champion of the world. A fight that went all 12 rounds, a unanimous decision in favor of Oleksandr Usyk. Anthony Joshua was left stunned by Oleksandr Usyk in front of 67,000 fans at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this past weekend as Joshua was outboxed and suffered his second defeat of his professional career. And with a telling scorecard which read 117-112, 116-112, 115-113, all in favour of Usyk. Usyk came into this off the back of an 18-fight undefeated streak and only his second fight in the heavyweight division, and now look at him, he's the WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight champion of the world, the unified heavyweight champion of the world. And then Usyk weighed in the heaviest that he's ever been in for a fight off the back of an 18-fight undefeated streak, and then only two fights in the heavyweight division, he has become the world heavyweight champion. The WBO, WBA, IBF unified world champion. But is anyone shocked? Listen, for me, I wouldn't say I was shocked. I would say more as like a confirmation. You know, a lot was confirmed for me in that fight in regards to Anthony Joshua. I always knew that Usyk was a very, very good boxer. I just did not expect it to be a case where he can go up into the heavyweight division and actually beat the unified heavyweight champion of the world. But if he was going to beat anyone, it had to be Anthony Joshua. Now, I know that I'm not alone or wrong in saying that I did underestimate Usyk. I didn't, how can I say it? I didn't expect him to win, but I knew that he was a great boxer. Totally dominated the cruiserweight division, but you just don't see many cruiserweight champions jump up to the heavyweight division and then become champion. This was Usyk's second fight in the heavyweight division. You know, he got fighters like Evander Holyfield and David Haye that come to mind, but look at the, you know, the gap in between those fighters, and then Usyk comes along and totally dominates. But for me, there were some telltale signs, you know, some pre-fight antics that were going on that made me think, Joshua, you're not really looking up for this fight, man. Shaking hands. Where did we see that before? Andy Ruiz being pally, being like respectful. Okay, I get it. The fight didn't need any antics or any like harsh words or anything like that. Not what we're seeing with Canelo and Caleb Plant. No, it didn't need all of that. But at the same time, man, you gotta have that eye of the tiger. And you're out there playing all these Rocky theme tunes and you can't embody that Rocky eye of the tiger. And with all of that said, he looked drained as well, man. It looked like he lost a lot of weight. 17 stones and 2 pounds. Like, I reckon the reason why he lost so much weight is because he was trying to maybe match the lighter fighter in Oleksandr Usyk, who actually came in the heaviest that he's ever been. So when you're actually watching both fighters, if you didn't know either one of them, you wouldn't even know who was the heavyweight and who was the cruiserweight. For me, it looked like AJ was the cruiserweight coming up into the heavyweight division. Now let's get into the harsh realities of it all. This is an absolute stinker for AJ, Anthony Joshua, an absolute stinker. And I don't know if he's going to be able to recover from this time. The Andy Ruiz situation was pretty much easy. Like, yeah, you got clocked, you got beat, but the second fight, he was able to adapt a style which you can run around the ring and jab. And, you know, Ruiz went into that fight as well, already like belly full. He was not in the game. Mine was not in the game. So it was easy to take him down. But with Usyk, you already seen the type of guy he is. He's all business in terms of just like, look, he doesn't care about the fame. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about all the stuff that comes with the boxing. All he's about is the glory and what it means to become the heavyweight champion. Now, for me, I feel like Joshua's already hit that ceiling. And I feel like in terms of what he's gained from the sport, the money, the fame, the everything like that, it can get to you, man. And then you're not focused. You don't have that hunger no more. Dillian Whyte said it best, that he can see with Anthony Joshua, he just doesn't have that hunger. And he fought like a man that doesn't have that hunger. There's no way that he should have allowed Usyk to go into that fight and dominate as if like he was the heavyweight. Derek Chisora already gave us the blueprint. He gave everybody the blueprint on how to potentially beat Usyk. Rough him up. Put that weight on him, lean on him, get him tired so that when you go into those later rounds with your heavyweight power, with the, you know, I won't say limited, but you know, Joshua somewhat can box. You're hoping that Anthony Joshua would have adopted a style that still allowed him to dominate as a heavyweight, but also bring in the, you know, the somewhat skill set that he has as a boxer. If Chisora was any younger, any fitter, I reckon he would have beat Usyk. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, when Joshua goes there, he's going to be able to do the job. But no, I don't know what was being done in that ring by Joshua. I don't know what fight plan that he had. But for me, all of that sticking your arm out and not jabbing, flicking, just trying to kind of find a range finder and then not even popping off with the right. What is the point? You're just there with your fist out and then you're not even banging. So what was the point? Like, I don't know what the game plan was. And, you know, his coach, McCracken, he's going to have to look at himself as well, because this is not the first time that his tactics have been questioned. Whether he's going to have to let him go or Joshua's going to have to maybe bring in someone in addition to the camp that he's got right now. And he's already said in the past that for him, he's not looking to bring in more people. The people that he's got right now is who he's sticking with. Well, man, if you're looking to get to that elite level, you're going to have to switch it up. Look at Tyson Fury. He made that bold decision to not stick with someone that's been with him for a long time, but he went out there, went and got himself a new coach, and that's the guy that orchestrated and helped him to beat Deontay Wilder. Now, I'm so glad I didn't go and watch this fight live, because I did have the chance to do so, but man, I wasn't looking to waste my money just to be singing Sweet Caroline. Da, da, da. And like I said, this fight in itself gave me that Joseph Parker vibe. Like, that fight was an actual bore fest, and the way Anthony Joshua fought in that fight was so boring. And he's had many other boring fights as well. But I just knew that because Usyk was being held as the boxer, he can really box, coming from the cruiserweight division, he's dominated. I knew that Anthony Joshua would try to adopt that style. It's almost like whenever people say these things, he feels like, oh, he needs to match. He needs to show that, yeah, I can box as well. If he was to fight Deontay Wilder, guess what he's going to do? He's going to try and outbang him. Like, oh, Wilder can bang. I want to show him that I can bang as well. The only one time that probably he adapted or adopted a tactic that was going to get him the win was against Ruiz. Any other time, it's just like, oh, man, come on, man. We understand. You want to kind of show out and show people that you can do this. No, it's not always like that. And the thing about Joshua is, He doesn't identify with any style. Like, he goes into these fights and it's just like, what are you really doing? What is the game plan? I never see it. He's just been lucky enough, and I'm going to say this again, he's just been lucky enough to come across fighters that are, for me, once again, over the edge. Your Pulevs, your Povetkins, your Klitschko's, struggled against Takam. You got your Chisoras there banging up Takam. Joseph Parker, Dillian White fought Joseph Parker and worked him. But then you got Anthony Joshua, because he was trying to like another, oh yeah, he's good with his hands, he's a boxer. What did Anthony Joshua try and do? Yeah, I'm gonna try and outbox him as well. Now I'm not gonna break down the fight as a whole, because I'm sure you've seen the fight. You sourced out all the information about the fight through media outlets and stuff like that. But if you cast your mind back to the fight in itself, there were telltale signs, like I said, telltale signs that Anthony Joshua's mind was not on this fight. Whether it be the fact that he was still thinking about Fury and that whole situation, I don't really want to hear the excuses. But if you watch the fight in itself, you will see that this guy was not prepared. Like, he was selling us a dream about like, oh, he's been, he's had a really good training camp. He's dedicated his time to fighting all these southpaws. He's prepared himself. He's ready. But when you look at the fight itself, he wasn't prepared for no southpaw. Every time he had these, he's trying to jab, this right hand was so low. That's why he was just getting caught right down the middle each and every time. If you really prepared, that right hand would have been up at all times. You would never ever drop that. So things like that, if you notice, will show you that, nah man, you weren't really prepared for this. You went into this fight just thinking, all right, cool, I've got a mandatory fight against Usyk, former cruiserweight champion, probably thinking to himself, yeah, if Chisora dealt with him, I'll be able to deal with him. In fact, I'm going to try and outbox him as well and show him that I can box as well, but ultimately, being the heavyweight, I'll be able to take him. But man, hey, you were so wrong. Did anyone else notice how unfit AJ was in that fight? Like, there's no way he should have been gasping for air at the end of the fight. Like, he's dead, like barely being able to stand up, while you got Usyk over there doing the can-can, jumping up in the air, doing the splits in the air and all that kind of stuff. And then you got AJ in the corner gasping for... Look, that just shows me he weren't really putting in the work. And it's quite shocking, because this is the guy that's always on Instagram or any other, I don't know, social media outlets that's out there. But you see him, he's always training, he's always in these commercial fitness program things and training. And then when it comes to the fight, 12 rounds, he looked like he was spent, shattered, battered. What are you doing? What have you been doing? Fitness, poor. You said that you was training with all of these southpaws. The way you fought, there's no way, man. There's no no way you was training with southpaws out there. So, what's next and who's next for either fighter? Unfortunately for Usyk, it's going to be a short period of time to really enjoy the titles, because there is an immediate rematch clause put into that contract. Anthony Joshua said after the fight that he believed that, it was a lesson that he needed to learn. But look, he's going to need to start asking some serious questions to either his team or to himself, and what he needs to do next. Like, does he switch it up? Does he change up completely? Or, like Eddie Hearn was saying, some small fundamental changes should be able to do it. Now look, let me just round this off, innit, because I can just keep going on and being overly critical of Anthony Joshua. I'll put my hands up and say, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Anthony Joshua, but I'll give him credit where credit is due. You can only beat the opponent that's in front of you, and if you do so, you climb up the ladder and you become heavyweight champion of the world, just the way AJ did. But for me, he has never been convincing. I've never once felt to myself like, this guy is the real deal. Is Usyk the real deal? We're yet to know, and we're yet to find out. I don't know. So far, he's beaten a below par Anthony Joshua. And I'm sure that Usyk will be able to beat all the other like bummy heavyweight champions. But when it comes to that elite level, I don't know. maybe there's other, heavyweights that would adopt that Chisora style and have the power to be able to, do some damage on Usyk. But it's going to be really difficult for Joshua to be able to get these titles back. We just got to see whether or not he's going to be able to adapt a style accordingly to be able to beat Usyk. If he's able to do that, then he gets his titles back and then he moves on to Fury. But let me know how you're feeling about it all, what you're saying. Anthony Joshua is no longer the heavyweight champion. How do you feel about that? And man, is Usyk the real deal? Is Anthony Joshua a fraud? Or vice versa? Like, you let me know, man. I need you to put your comments down below and let's have a chat about this, because for me, I gotta say it how it is, man. I feel like Anthony Joshua is a fraud. I don't think that he's the real deal at all. And when it comes to Usyk, it's too early, man. It's too early to say. But 2 fights in and he's already the heavyweight champion of the world. Unified heavyweight champion of the world. But let me know, man. Put your comments down below and let me know. Now, with that being said, I'm going to leave it there for today, but thank you so much for watching another episode of A Dash of Sports. That's episode 51. Truly appreciate your love and support with that. And if you need further information about future episodes or just your day-to-day sporting updates, then hey, come and check me out. I'm on Instagram and I'm also on Twitter, which is A Dash of Sports. I'll put it down below here, A Dash of Sports, and I'll also leave it in my description area so that you've got a direct link to that. And please, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, and help me to get these subs up. I truly appreciate your help with that. And remember to press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my shows. And until the next time here in A Dash of Sports, peace.